Okay. Elder, been a while. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
good.
It's
Been
nice
like,
to see you.
it's good to see you again. Oh.
Yeah.
It's been how many years now? I met you when I was in 100 level. Yeah.
Actually, I remember the day.
The day you met me?
Yeah, actually, I do. Uh, I met you through Abu. Abu introduced you to me in
Yeah, I
front
know
of
Abu.
SUB.
Wow.
And the statement, after introducing you to me, the statement that Abu made that day was, that guy is the future of our department. When I leave, take care of you.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
And
Actually, I
I
remember.
later lead the department.
Yeah. You did. I did us proud.
How do you
Both.
guys find ways to know this kind of thing? Because I myself in another level, I didn't see myself. I didn't know anything about SUG. I don't know anything about leadership. I don't know anything of that. But you and Abi were able to see it.
Actually, as at then, we were all young. It's not like we had this wisdom or there's this
Mm.
innate eye that we used to say things like that. But it's just a way of seeing yourself in someone,
Okay, seeing yourself in the other
in the
person.
other person. So if you see that this person carry my own kind of spirit, the kind of vibe, let me use that word,
Yeah,
that I have, sorry,
no problem.
the kind of vibe that I have with someone, then
Mm-hmm.
you just know, okay, yeah. And most times you are right, sometimes
Yeah,
you are
right.
wrong.
Awesome stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
I later grew up to lead the department, like you said. And one thing I always remember that you did was when I was having an issue with one election I did in 200 level. I was welfare director of my hall. I was about to become the PRO of my faculty. And they were like, you can't contest. Oh. And I called you that day that, that they said I cannot continue. Like, who said it? I'm coming. So it makes me wonder how people just pick interest in you and they will be ready to go out of their way for you. Just and that has been what you have been doing ever since then. It makes me wonder that you've done a lot of things. It makes people. My wife always say the elder is like your elder brother. It comes like that. And it makes me wonder how you people do that because many people don't understand. Yeah, I think it's sacrifice per se. I think you are sacrificing something for me without even seeing that, oh, this is how this guy will benefit me when I don't even have anything to give, right?
Actually, for me, it comes natural in the sense that as long as I have a relationship with you, if the energy is the same, I always like coming through for my friends, no matter the tribe, the religion, the disparity. I always like doing that. It comes naturally to me. And I just feel if I have it in my capacity to help anybody in one way or the other, it's the right thing for me to do.
To do.
So yeah, I don't think it's something special, and it's something I believe everybody should see it that way. That if you have the capacity to help in one way or the other, your own widow's might.
I'm thinking in the capacity of, I'm thinking in the capacity of picking up that young boy in your streets. I believe we men, like young men, they are missing it because they do not have proper guidance from young men. I myself, I used to be radical. You know all of those too. I used to be really radical, very stubborn. But a lot of things changed about me in 2018 after I lost my HUG president election. Number one, I met Professor Fash. He became my mentor. You were there. So Professor Fash about 50, 60. You were there at that particular age grade. Another. So I think like us, people like you, we need to actually pick young men instead of we casting. Yes, they are bad, they are this. But if somebody did not pick me up, if you did not pick me up, I might not be in this place today.
Yeah. Actually, you are right in the sense that the discussion we were having earlier,
Yeah.
right? It was more of how do we influence our environment. If you don't leave any positive influence on your environment, you just keep complaining and the decay, the rot in the society will continue. And if one way or the other, That's why I said it the other time that I believe in any way you can help anybody around you.
Okay.
Most times people usually look at the word help and start thinking financially.
Okay, okay, when people think about the word
When
help,
you said help someone, I most people usually think for me to help someone I need to
give the person
give the
money.
money. I don't think I've ever given you any money before.
Yes.
No. So most times all you just need, or someone just need. At one point in my life, I have had people who had given me one or two advice that changed the course of my life. So you get most people around us, especially the young ones that are going in the direction we believe is not right. Though to them as of now, they believe that's the right thing, that's what's reigning. But you've passed through that stage. All we can just do as members of the society who wants a better society is to try in one way or the other to find a way to reach out to them. It's not a function of just castigating them, but bringing them close, understanding what they are going through. Because I believe most people that lash out sometimes, there is a pain that is hidden under.
Under.
Yeah.
You never did that to me. You never did that to me. You always find it, even when I post something on my status and it is wrong, you always try to have a conversation with me and you know that's most likely try to point me there and say,
Yeah.
look at it this way.
It's the same. It's the same thing people I follow to do to me. In the
Okay.
sense that don't let me say I'm stubborn, but I used to be very rigid in my opinion. Rigid in the sense that if I pick up an opinion today, I try as much as possible to research the opinion. And most times when I research the opinion, I stay with that opinion. But I've discovered sometimes your research can even be misleading. You might still be wrong. So it's very hard for you to now come to me and tell me something that an opinion that I've been pondering over for a while before I come to so conclusion. So you get. So if you just come to me and tell me I'm wrong, even saying that I'm wrong as a then is a no for me. So you understand? But I discovered that some of my mentors usually come to me in a different direction, which is okay. They sit me down, we have a discussion. That shows they value my opinion. They want me to speak my mind.
Was that the
And the
relationship
point,
you had with Governor Mimiko?
the governor is a mentor and a father. He's a
He
mentor
speaks,
and a father.
he,
He's a very brilliant man. He's someone that there is no time you are around him. He's discussing with you different things,
different
brilliant topics.
agriculture, finance, and all of these things.
Mention any topic to His Excellency, is discussing it with you at the topmost level.
Wow.
He's telling you what's happening recently.
Then
Even you that you are a
we use
young
that are
person,
saying that,
you don't know as much as he does.
but we use that are saying that politicians don't, they are not brilliant, they are
Yeah.
stupid, that
He Dr. Mimiko per se, with the little interaction I've had with him, he is a leader, he is a father, he is a brilliant man. He's not your typical politician,
politician.
and he's a man that has the people at heart. No matter how young you are, he wants to know your opinion. He wants you to give your idea.
How did you manage to meet him?
That's actually a very funny story. While I was in 500 level, while I was writing my project, I was in the SUG building. I was in one of the offices, and this my leader there, safety.
Yeah.
Safety came in, and we were just discussing. And I was like, safety, as I am now. After my project, I don't want to go home. I want to do one or two things, make money. And I was like, that there's a volunteer project.
Volunteering projects.
Do I have interest? That was towards the election of, what was the name of this man?
Judge.
Itayo Jegede.
Yeah.
So I said, no problem, I'm interested, why not? So he told me, okay, the second day he will call me. So the second day when he called me, he told me to meet him at the school gate. He picked me up with some other guys and he took us to the government house. So there we met with this man, Ejia Kola Oderinwale, who happens to be a confidant of the governor.
Governor.
And he was in charge of the situation room for the governor there. So you get. So from there, the man picked interest in me. He had a very fantastic situation room. I was made the head of the call center and the rest while I was still in school then. So after the election, His Excellencies was like, wow, these guys are fantastic. They are still students. So it's like, okay, I don't want you guys to disband this thing. So you get, I want us
He saw value in
to
what you guys did.
build something. So that was from there. There are times you need our service. We
So
have to go to his place in Ondo, in Lagos. I've gone with him on several trips where he has to deliver speeches and the rest.
wow, it was not. It was a matter of you are curious enough. You want to volunteer for something, and
Yeah.
that was just the trajectory.
And the funny thing there is that formed the basis of my career in technology.
Wow, that particular
That
situation.
particular decision to just volunteer, safety linking me up with.
I think that a lot of us, when we were in school, we were focused on want to make money, but we don't. There's this connection that we were not making. That for you to make money, you have to offer value.
Value. Yeah.
So majority, and I believe majority of young people now, they have the same mentality. I want to make
Make
money.
money. Yeah.
Okay, hey, they always come online and speak, kilo njawo, kilo njawo. What is going on? What is going on? How can I make money? That is why we saw the old trend of tap tap tap, and people are tapping and all of. So
The fact, sorry to cut you short. The funny thing there is, as at the time while I was still in school then doing the volunteer job, they gave us a chalet inside the government house. There are times I was coming from there. Some of my friends were like, friends who were into all this illegal shit. What are you doing with your life? Why are you, even after service, some of them even stopped talking to me based on the fact that I saw my future in IT and I was so intentional about it. Majority of the money I made then, the peanuts I made, was going into different courses. So you get, but to God be the glory today. I know some of them who has reached out to me on how far I want to go into IT. Can you help me start? So you understand? So most times I usually tease them that that time when me and the do we
yeah,
were supposed to have together, you were making jest of me, but it's
because
nice
we're
that everybody
making
is seeing the light now and we are all trying to build a career because I discovered whatever you do as a man is that you are building your business or you are building your career. If not, you cannot just fly up, you come down. But if you climb up, you stay up.
flying up in the perspective that okay, you just made money either illegally or you just jam 10 million naira, $10 million.
Yes.
You're going to
Yes,
waste
sorry.
it back down.
The value of your wealth will actually come to the value of your intellect.
Okay, you can't.
If your intellect is this low,
Yes.
and you just you made money probably maybe through sport betting and the rest. At the end of the day, it's either you increase your intellect to match
The money.
the money, or the money comes down to match your intellect.
Interesting. Interesting perspective. So the value when you were in school that time, all you were trying to build is I want to build a career in IT. Can you talk and speak a little bit about it? What were you doing then that actually made you focus on say I want to build skill? Because
The funny thing
all trying
is,
to build skill is
the
not
funny
level.
actually I was even as at then,
Yeah.
what I just had in my head was one, I'm not going back home.
Okay.
That one was constant. I had that 100%. I'm not going back home. I want to make money before going for service. I'm not interested in calling my mom, disturbing anybody for. That was one. And two, I had this friend that Pelumi Olaole.
Yes.
Okay, you get. Pelumi was right from our 300 level then. Pelumi already understood some things that some of us did not understand then. Pelumi was already reading a lot of books.
Yes.
And he was already reading a
Reading a
lot
lot
of
of
books, and
books
then he was already trying to build himself into what he is
is
today.
today.
Even though I'm not sure if he saw it then, but he was into it then. But we did not see it as he saw it then.
Something valuable.
Yes, and as at then, Pelumi already was already trying to push us that were his friends to into it. So, but for me as at then, I was not even really sure I would be going into tech. I just needed something to do. But as at the time I started working, doing the volunteer job, I picked interest. This thing comes easy to me. And right from time, when it comes to management and leadership, it's
No, you're a
always been
leader.
natural.
Yes,
It's always
leadership
been
and management
natural.
has been your
So it's just, well, hey, this could be a career. I could be working and doing something I love at the same time.
interesting. Oh, your friends that were telling you then that all of these books you're reading, this and this. How you still talk to them, right?
Yeah, actually, I still
Did they
talk to them.
now see
I
the
still talk
value
to
of
most.
reading books
The
now?
funny thing there is, I thank God for how everything turned out. In the sense that I have some of them who are even into tech today.
Now,
Yeah, because at least we are talking about this is a discussion of over 13 years.
yes,
You
long.
understand? So I have some of them who already saw the light earlier. Come guy, Bryson, this thing go make sense. Switch to tech, and there are still some of them till date who don't really know how to go back into it. Who we as friends are still trying to say, yeah, it's not too late to learn a skill, to pick up interest in something. It is for a while that people will look at you and say, at your age, you are just learning this. My brother, when you start making the money, nobody
Nobody will
cares.
remember.
Yeah.
There's something about you that I observe
Okay.
that we have not actually talked about it since the people I met in school then when it comes to politics, when we go out to drink and have all of these things, what they always talk about is bring these small girls now, this and this. But you were not like that.
Yeah,
You
no.
were not looking for you never tell me to come and buy you drink. You never talk about um, taking you to beer parlor before you know. You were about building somebody like you, building somebody up, building their intelligence and all. So, and I believe I met a friend recently. He got married recently. He's now asking me that, do my wife check my phone? And I said no. He said his wife is always check his phone, oh, that it's causing issues. I was not like, even if my wife check my phone, there's no issue now because
There's
there's
no issue
nothing there.
because, yeah.
He was not like he said me I'm always that kind of person that he does not him he still has small girls and all of these things. And I want to observe generally that overall, if a man can control his sexual desire and promiscuity and all of those things, he's going to half of his problem will be solved. Do you think from school that time, do you think there's something in you that help you not to actually look at it that way, even when everybody were doing it? Or it is a personal decision after you got married that
Yeah, actually, I would put it this way: nobody is perfect. That's one.
yeah,
I don't really like judging people. I am this kind of person that yeah, we might be close, but sometimes our beliefs are not the same. So you get.
yes.
So that is why my approach to the subject you're discussing might be a little bit different from others. There are people around me who do that while we
So
were in school. Yeah. I don't blame them for it. They have their reason for doing it, but they know my own stand on that anyway. But basically, what I could say helped me through those periods were one, my faith is very important to me. It's not that I don't see it, it's not that I'm not tempted to do it. I'm a man, I'm human being. Everybody, I believe everybody is tempted to. Everybody even has the opportunity. That opportunity will always present itself. It's just by the grace of God that you're able to say no or avoid that kind of situation. And as a married man, I believe it's even the pressure to to go into something like that increases more when you are
when
married.
you are married.
Yeah.
I believe you get
In the
more advances.
yeah, in the sense that you get more advances, you are more put together. Probably you make more money and the rest. So it's the even the avenue to do it becomes larger. So it still falls back to the discipline you've built or the personal ingrained decision that no, I want to do this. So you get my point. So that's my own belief. And for me, my faith has been the
So
major
that
thing
helps you
that
in that
helps me in
regard.
that regard. Because for someone like me that travels a lot,
Yeah.
I travel a lot. At least in a year, if you count the number of days that I sleep in an hotel in a year, it's close to 3, 4 months. So it's something that the avenue is
Is
always
the
there, but the discipline and the help of the Holy Spirit is the key thing.
why do you think married men make more money? Why?
Actually, one of the reasons why I think married men make more money is one, not all married men make more money.
Yes.
But if you are fortunate enough to marry a woman who is a manager, because I believe, I don't know if I'm what's it called? I don't know if is it gender correct or because I don't want to this for the is a public consultant. I believe most women have it in them to be very good managers. When according to my faith, when you give something to a woman, she multiplies it. You give a woman a seed, which is the sperm, she gives you a whole baby. You understand?
Correct.
So if you are married to a woman, a good woman who is a manager, she helps you more in managing
The
your
finance.
finances. And apart from that, she motivates you. There's no greater motivation for a man to make more money than his woman. If your woman is satisfied with the level at which you are financially, it is easy for you to settle as a man.
But men interpret it as prayers. Sometimes they feel like, my wife is praying me, she's praying me.
I won't speak for those men. I won't speak for them. Yeah, actually, like I said the other time, is either if you marry a good woman, not yeah. We've seen different women who all they just want to do is sit at home, spend money, do all this shit, carry ring light and the rest. So you understand, and all they do is spend the man's money without
Yeah.
even making anything or advising him on how to invest. Or you understand what I'm saying? So if a man like that is saying the woman is putting pressure on him, that's out of my own hands. But if you have a woman who is motivating you to make more, as she is motivating herself
Also,
also, and I believe for a man, for someone like me who is not born with a silver spoon or even an iron spoon, I don't need you to motivate me
before I go out
before
there,
I go out there
I
to
also think the responsibility that I have somebody at home to
yeah, to
feed.
feed, because I was the one who came to you and said, Madam, I want to marry.
Marry.
You get, and I don't want my kids and my wife to go through what I went through as a child. I want to build a better future for them. And
Yes.
apart from that, the environment, the society around me, I want to influence. I want to leave a legacy. So
Yeah.
you get, so it's enough pressure on me than any pressure anybody can put on me. So anything my wife is bringing to me will be more of motivation.
Motivation.
Okay, yeah. When I'm tired, she knows how to motivate me to get back up. Not that she is pressuring me, no.
How do you vet? How do you, as a man? I believe a lot of young men are making mistakes because they don't even know how to vet a woman. How to vet a woman. They don't know. That's my own. I've observed the whole scenario. I think people will be like, my wife is doing this and this. Is he wrong? You see a lot of an anonymous. They'll be like, I sent my wife 50K. She she didn't really appreciate. She just said thank you, but I was expecting her to praise me. So young men don't know. They don't know how to what is wrong, what is right. I don't know if you can speak on how do you vet.
Okay. Let me first of all say something. I'm a young man too.
Yes.
I'm a young man
Yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah, we are all young men, but sometimes I discover that our backgrounds and things we decide to do to eradicate some misconception that we grew up with is very key. In the sense that for me, like I said the other time, my faith is very, very important, and it's is a guiding light for me when it comes to my marriage. If there is proper understanding, I decide to get married. It is my responsibility to feed my family. Yeah, as human, I expect to be appreciated, but it is my duty. If you are working for a company now, you are working for, let's say, GTB, if you do your job properly, you are expected to be paid salary at the end of the month. After being paid the salary, you don't expect the CEO of GTB to come to you to come and say, oh, POK, thank you for the job well done. No, it is standard. You do your job, you get paid. So you get my point. So for me as a married man, it is my duty to make certain provision
For your family.
for my family
Either they appreciate you, it's or
or
not.
not. That is my belief. You know, the current woke
Well,
generation, the Gen Z, I'm not a Gen Z. The current woke generation have their own ways of looking at it, but that is my own personal belief. That's what myself and my wife agreed on before getting married to each other. It is my duty to do it. A good woman will always appreciate you when you do or when you don't do it. But I am not waiting for the appreciation. I am not doing it for the appreciation. I'm doing it because it is my
a
duty.
duty.
So if you as a young guy who is not yet married is expecting appreciation when anytime you do anything, my brother, you would just keep giving yourself frustration. And as long as you know you are not married to a waster,
A waster.
as long as you know you are not married to a waster, which is why it's important before you get married, know who you are getting married to, understand the person, let the person understand you, understand the person so much that even when they don't appreciate you, you know that it's not intentional. So you get my point. There are times that uh, I usually don't tell my wife before I send money to her. There are times when I send money to my wife, me have moved on. Maybe the second day is when she checks the account. I usually send money and see. I say, why did you not tell me you send money? I say, I'm busy. I said, since you did not say thank you, you should know that I did not
This
say.
is it.
It
Don't
is
worry.
not my own.
I'm not expecting the
Mine
thank
is to
you.
send it. That's just my own basic opinion.
I really do align with the whole duty thing. Because if as a man you are not seeing it as a duty, I believe you will be frustrated. But there will be bad days and you will be like, the people I'm even doing all of these things for self. Did you
And
even
you
have?
start taking out your frustration
And
on
then,
them.
which is bad. Yes, I want to go into politics. But one thing, I want to start from the fact that the trajectory you followed, getting very close to Governor Mimiko, working directly with him all of these years. You have this trajectory of becoming SSA. That is what they SA. That's the trajectory. But you didn't follow that path. Upon having the connection and all of this, working with Atiku and all of these guys, you still maintain the fact that you want to build a career for yourself in tech. You were working in tech and make your own money, and you are not online defending atrocities of politicians because you want to feed yourself. How you doing that?
Actually, only engineer Kola, that was my immediate boss then knew that I was a unionist. Till date, His Excellency did not even know that I did any
Yes,
form of
student
student
unionism.
unionism, in the sense that we had more of a work relationship. I'm a tech person. I'm working for you as a service. And I was intentional about that in the sense that I believe it's better if you are known for something. Something in the sense that if I go to His Excellency house and greet him now, the first thing he says is Turkey. You get my point? That is, I want to build a career for myself. Yeah. It's a different thing if tomorrow or next tomorrow someone notice what I'm doing and say, you function well as an SSA in a position. If as at that time I believe my career is mature enough for me to handle that without jeopardizing
Just
my career, yeah, I'll take it. But for now, I believe I need to build a name for myself. I was speaking to one of my friends who is global now in terms of his career.
yes.
I won't mention his name. He's global now. I was like, Badi Alpha, when are you coming back to my state, Ogun State, to come and contest for governor? And we had a lot of discussion, so you understand, around his career and around politics, which we all know, okay, we are still going back to politics.
Politics.
But in our career, in our fields, let's make our name, let's make a name for ourselves. Let it not be people just see it as these people are a career politician. No, let's build something. It's very hard for someone who has you've not built anything in your life, you've not toiled for anything, you are just opportunity to be a politician. Then you start seeing people's money as your own personal wealth.
Money, then you mismanage it.
You mismanage it. But when you've made money for yourself and you understand what it means to work hard, then you do not suffer people. You will not make people work 30 days and not pay them what is proper. Instead of you now telling them, there's no money in government, you as a politician, you are spending a lot of money on yourself, a lot of money on frivolities, and you are giving the people peanut as minimum wage. So I believe it's a function of we want to build a career for ourselves. I'm speaking for myself and some of my friends who are politically inclined. Want to build a career for ourselves first. Everybody go build a career for yourself. Then when it is time, everybody come back
Now come back.
in whatever field.
Because I feel it makes me very furious when I see guys on Twitter defending politicians. I'm not saying if you know if they say something, for example, now there was a day people were talking about Dangote moving a refinery away from Mondo State, and I was online that day. I was not trying to defend Mimiko and say, you do not know these things. You think this guy will? I'm not even close to Mimiko. I'm not his SSC. I'm not his media person. You get? But so when you have some facts, the day I was putting out information that okay, the Abiye program actually help on those states in the sense that the child mortality reduced because
Reduced,
I know
yes,
these
now.
facts. So it's different when you are putting out facts about a politician and when you are defending atrocities. So I pity young man. I'll just be like, you're a young man. You have a lot to do for yourself other than following this particular path. And we've seen a lot from the likes of this Bashir Ahmad and all of these things. Wealth without wealth without enterprise. And because when you follow that path and you begin to see money as a politician, like you said, you cannot manage the money.
You can't.
You can't manage the money. You don't even know the value of money. I believe you won't know the value of
What it
money
takes.
because you didn't grind. So you didn't, for example, as a tech person, you will meet your clients, you talk to your clients, you would do onboarding, you would you have to provide a very good service so that
The
they can
processes
stay,
you have to go through.
so that they can so that they can stay and continue using your services. And like you said, I want to go back to that word that you said, like you should be known for something.
Yeah.
When Mimiku sees you, he says techie. I always say that to a lot of idiots in my podcast that within your friends, when they mention your name, something should
Something
come to
should
their
come.
head.
Yeah. Up to you. Actually, there was something that I did not focus on when I started my career, which is part of my goals for the year. And I remember that there was a meeting, I'll refer back to Pelumi. There was a meeting Pelumi organized then in Accra here that we went through at, what's the name of this hotel, Abba Hotel. There I met this young man. He just graduated from Futa last year. I met him, his name is Tosin something, I can't remember the name now. So it was just a normal round table discussion. So he was very young. I think it was in 100 level or 12 level then. So he was talking about, we were just talking about a particular book. Okay, what book have you read this year? This thing, that thing. So his main discussion then was about personal branding. So you get.
Yes.
And to cut the long story short, on the day of his graduation in Futa, I saw it on the status and I just greeted him, happy convocation, thanks, boss, this and that. So I noticed that between the last time I met him and last year, because that was the only time we saw physically, ever since then he's been online. He's been part of betting close to like 4 different companies.
Wow.
And his brand is speaking for him. You get my point. So I've come to realize there's nothing you do on earth if you don't brand yourself, if people don't know you for something, that's when you start having unnecessary problems. Ever since I've started my career, no police has ever harassed me.
Me at all.
I've stayed in Ijapo, where I'm staying currently, anywhere I travel to. Even there was a day I was traveling to Delta State. Some policemen stopped us on the way and told everyone, all of us in the car were young, told everybody to come down. And when I'm traveling, I'm always with my laptop. So instantly when I came down, I was doing the server installation for ECC that time. So I just brought out my ID card. I did not stop at the policemen that stopped us. I went to their boss seated in the car and I gave him my ID card and he told me, you just stay here. When they are done, enter the bus. So you get, so it's become more of, this is what I do. I'm not ashamed of what I do. So that is why when I see young men sometimes that are into all this shady stuff, they see you carry. Even when I go to the pub in the evening, sometimes to just relax, I'm with my laptop. When people see me in the pub, my drink, present my, they look at ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹja wa ẹja ẹsìn kí n ló fẹ́ ṣe project management ni. So you get my point. So it's very important for people to know you with something. Know this is okay. When you mention POK, you know, okay, you talk about advertisement, you talk about podcast.
Yeah.
I have some guys like that are working with me now. That, okay, this you mention their name. That's what pop. If anybody comes to me with any job now, okay, remember the day I called you.
Yes.
Okay, someone came to me and said they need someone that can help them with digital this thing and say, instantly when the person mentioned it, you came to my mind. So that's because you are known for that. But if I don't know you with anything, I just know you, I just know you.
So I always hammer this thing. Even if you are into tailoring, whatever, you need to keep telling people so that you'll be known for something. People will say, "I need a job." Okay, what do you do?
What do you do?
I went to school and studied microbiology. How will I hire you as a
What can you offer?
microbiologist?
Yeah.
I can't
What
hire you
can
for
you
that.
offer?
So I believe in this new year, what people need to even actually focus on trying to do is you need to be known for something. Something as even if it's writing, this whatever it is, be known for it.
For example, there's this younger brother of a friend who needed something to do immediately after he finished. Excuse me, his NYSC. So he approached me. I was like, okay, what can you do? Said he did accounting. I was okay. Do you know how to use Excel? I have a
Abi.
particular project that I'm working on. The only thing I can help you with that will make me pay you as at then is if you can use Excel, just basic knowledge of Excel.
So,
And I will be the one to show you what to do. If you can do that here for the temporary time, I can put you on that and you get stipend. I was like, I can use Excel, no problem. Okay, fine. And I showed him what to do, gave him a simple task, he messed it up. For me, time is of essence. I just gave him a stipend and continued doing what I was doing. So I believe sometimes most people rather be fear of where do I start? No, start from somewhere. As little as learning how to use Microsoft Word. You don't know we need it. As little as learning how to iron clothes. There are places where you just do one little thing, it links to the other thing and becomes bigger for you.
so start from something, whatever it is, just start.
Yeah. The Bible says, whatever your hands find to do, do it well.
Let's talk about books, Eda.
Uh,
Let's talk about books.
yeah.
What books are you reading? What books are you
Actually, for me, the books I read
read?
are not really, I'm not really into circular books.
It's,
And I always like believing in the author of the book I want to read. I need to believe in you before I can
read
read
your
your book.
book.
Currently, the book I'm currently reading is called Redesign by Reverend Biodun Fatoyibo.
Yeah. And I know you always read Nigerian books. That's why I'm asking you.
That's the book I'm reading. And apart from that book, I just fell in love with Vusi currently.
Yeah.
Even before you came, I've listened to Vusi for like 2 hours. I don't know. So those are the two major people I read when it comes to my spiritual life, personal growth. When it comes to career, I consume a lot of things online. For that, I don't.
You know, anywhere you
I
see
don't.
the
Once I have any free time, I just is it I'm on YouTube, just search, watch videos, learn new things, or I'm on Google reading different news about the latest
okay.
things in my career.
Yeah.
So that at any point in time, anywhere I meet myself, I can apply that knowledge into what I'm doing.
Yes. Accurate. I actually like ask you that question because I know you are more Nigerian and African when it comes to books and all of those things. You always like to localize the knowledge.
Reason why I do that is this. I am passionate about Nigeria and Africa at large. There
Now we
are
can
times,
change it.
at a particular time in my life, I tried to deny that, but no, it's so innate in me that I want this country to work. I want this country to function. So I decided to start consuming things that has to do with our current situation. That's just my own personal belief. People who are here with me, people who are here in this country, who are seeing what I'm seeing every day. For example, I saw here someone's tweet on Twitter yesterday talking about a lot of people trooping to Lagos for the festive period, Oble, like they call it. That everyone just trooped in, came back, come online, talk about Lagos is this, Lagos is that, Lagos is awesome, they enjoy Lagos. He said, but he went to Lagos and he decided to just slow down for a minute and he saw poverty everywhere. He said he saw the streets filled with beggars, saw the car parks with beggars, everybody haggard, people were not happy. Only but for someone who is coming to Lagos to have fun, if you don't intentionally decide to look around, you won't see it. So I think that's one of the things that is, as an African man, as a Nigerian, we have to be intentional about seeing that exact thing we don't want to see. The fact that God has been able to uplift you a little bit out of where you came from, out of that deep poverty. Africans, we tend to turn our back to it, tend to ignore it. Most of us will not even want to acknowledge where we are coming from. And that is why you see that a lot of people don't even try to give back to where they are coming from, because they don't want people to know that's where I came from.
Your origin is your origin. Are you gonna change it? You can't change it. You can't change it. Can we talk about how you lead your home?
Uh,
I honestly believe that for me personally, I've learned a lot from you and one of my mentors. His name is Prince Will. After my wedding, I can honestly say that my 1 year of marriage has been what both of you said to me after marriage. Yeah, a lot of things like okay, you need to understand. Not just people will say understand your wife, but something you said when I came to you is that she's like your mother. She's also like your sister. You need to when you want to deal with her, whatever there are some things your mother will say to you
yes, no.
that you may not like, but you will not eat your mother. You will not grab your mother and say you will not say your mother is no longer your mother. So when you said that thing that I was just like okay, when you view it from that perspective, it makes sense. So that's why I want to speak on the things you feel like men should know.
The basis of marriage for me, like my pastor taught me, is the Bible says, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Wife, honor your husband. For you to understand that, you need to understand how Christ loved the church.
Okay.
And how did Christ love the church? Remember, the church crucified Christ.
The church that Christ loved crucified Christ.
When Christ was on earth, the Rome Pontius Pilate, he washed his hand off his leg because he said, choose between a thief and Christ. The church chose a thief over Christ. He died for them. He still loved them. At every turn, when the church was disobedient, Christ still loved them. When the church did against Christ's instruction, anytime they come back, he still loves them. So for me, I believe what the Bible is instructing us is, if you can take everything from your wife in love, there won't be a problem.
That's hard.
That is why I usually tell people, if you come to me, you are getting, bros, how far I'm getting married now, fine. You love her? That's a very important question for me.
And love is not emotion.
It's not emotional.
With what you are explaining is
Can you
hard.
take shit from her? Because you are two different people coming together. Her upbringing is different from yours. She has a voice of her own. She has a mind of her own. She is coming from her own independence. You are coming from your own independence. And the kind of culture we have in Africa here, our culture says a lot too. Do you understand? So, and this is a generation whereby a lot of people don't really understand the culture. The culture is not really relevant in homes now.
Yes.
Hey, get, especially you are red, your wife is red too. What do you want to say? And if if you would have it, your wife is making more money than you. You get my point. So it takes you truly loving her, knowing you chose her. Christ chose the church.
It's not the church that chose Christ.
He chose.
So what are explaining that husband love your wife like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
So understanding how Christ loved the church, that he gave his life for it.
So you must be willing to give your life for your wife. That's basically it.
So it's not your burden to decide on the type of woman you'll be able to give your life to. Oh.
So it's a function of, okay, even if she cheats on me,
You still have to. No, that's insane.
that's why I said, for me, it's not a public thing.
Yeah, he's not. I don't understand.
It has to do with personal belief.
Because my
But the
own
question
question.
you asked me is personal.
Yes.
That's why I'm giving you a personal answer. It is you need to understand what it takes
Before you get into it.
before you get into it. If you are a Christian like me, you need to understand. And same way, the Bible says, wife, honor your husband. As a woman, you need to understand the word honor, what honor means. Honor is not kneeling down for your husband.
Mm.
Honor is not having sex with him. Honor is not cooking for him. You literally understand what honor means. If you honor your husband, there's nothing you cannot get from the man. Sometimes I tell my friend, I say to a man, honor is even more important, is very important than sex. Most people call it respect. I'm not talking about respect. Honor, that's what the Bible says. If you honor your husband, there's nothing in this world you can't get from a man that you honor.
There's nothing you can't get him to do.
There's nothing. There's nothing you can't get him to do. So if a man loves his wife like the Bible commands, and the woman honors the man, the home will be sweet. Loving a man is easy for women.
That is why Bible did not
That's why
command
the
them.
man, the Bible, he knows his design.
But there's
But
some
to
guys.
honor, that's the
There's,
problem.
there's some guys on Twitter that will say, women does not have the capacity to love a man. I always laugh.
I believe most of them don't understand what love means. And if you remember the other time, I said, oh, this discussion is not for public consumption. It's not for everybody. That's one thing I understand in my life. Thank God you are a marketer. Your product is not for everybody.
Yes.
You need to have your own targeted. There are people that will, you write something, they will tell you is bullshit. No. But the people you are sent to, the people your message is for, they
Yes.
get it and they understand. You can't be, you're a Yahoo boy, you have a jobless girlfriend who's not doing anything. You just buy wigs for party, do everything, and then after you are broke, the girl leaves you. And you come online and you are complaining. It's a transactional relationship. I give you sex, you give me money. Money has finished. Why do you expect me to stay? It's transactional. That's the logic. You get my point? But you now coming back online, a man has come. He met you as a hooker. He knew. Actually, half of his friends have slept with you.
Yeah.
After that, he used you and don't you. You now say all men has come. No, that's fallacy. It's fallacy of hasty generalization. You get. So it's a function of every advice, every discussion is not for everybody. So if people come online and say women don't love, maybe the guy has not seen love. And another thing there is you need to have a model for something sometimes. There are people maybe whose parents all the time they know is they just keep beating on each other. Some people see that as love because after the father beats the mother goes and she still come back. So you get my point. So they believe if he doesn't beat me, he don't love me. The reason why he's beating me is because he loves me so much,
So much.
and I messed up. So he needs to let out that anger so that he can love me. That's their definition of love. Some people's definition of love is my woman, no. Anytime he sees me, must kneel down, must do this. You understand my point? Everybody has their own definition of what it means to be loved by someone.
And it's based on their background and
It's based
upbringing.
on their background, their environment, what they think is right.
If you're arguing with them based on your own environment, it's always
No, it's
contradicts.
always contradict. So it is until they are broken down to a level where they can see. I mean, really see. That's when they understand that love is not that.
Another thing I always say is that for men generally, it starts from us. It starts from you. Like lead whatever you want your kids to do, whatever you want your wife to do, it starts
Lead
from
by
you.
example.
Like you said, that you give a woman a seed, whatever you are giving to her, she
So
multiply.
multiply, yeah, and the same way if you give her anger, she will give you times three. Yes, now. That's why as a man, our position in the house is very, very important. It's very, very crucial. As you are now, if you are leaving the house in the morning, when you are leaving in the morning, if you know that you want to come back home at night, you want to meet peace, you know what to do.
As the man.
If you want to come back home and meet wahala, serious one, you know what to do. So it is what you sow into your woman, that's what you will reap back.
Does it have a caveat that provided if the woman is actually a good woman?
Yeah, it does. Thank you, my brother. That's why I said from the beginning we are talking on personal. It's just a discussion. Before you marry a good woman. Marry a good woman. But still a good woman. In a month, maybe in a month, she's not, sorry to say this, she's not being controlled by her emotions. There are times they get angry, they don't know why. It's not their fault.
It's the nature.
It's the nature. And you are not going through that. For a man, our own priorities are different from theirs. Your wife want to spend time with you. You, that time is time for you to make money so that you can spend it on your wife. So when it starts becoming for this work I'm doing, I'm trying to make money. The majority of money I will spend
It's
it on
you
you.
too.
But she's telling you no. The money you are making, I understand, but I want to spend time with my husband. So it now comes to you knowing how to manage that time to okay, I'll spend time with you, but I still have to make money. Because our own priority is always you must be able to cater for your house. You must be able to cater for your house
That's everything we think about all the time.
all the
All the
time.
time.
Oh. Yeah,
I also believe that
the
this whole
time.
demonizing of men and co is whatever we are doing now, they have done it in the Western world. The whole feminism and co, they've done it there, and we can see the result. I was speaking to a friend recently, and I asked him that you're over there now, and I'm hearing a lot of stories about Nigerian men coming home to marry a nurse, the nurse getting there, later everybody will divorce because of
Yeah,
this and that. He said, see, bro, what I've seen here is insane. Like, marriage is just simply game. I know, like, game as well. He said, the man is playing his coming home to marry a nurse because of economy. You just want to use her. She too, she wants to
just to
use
use
you,
it. It's a contractual agreement for them.
which is not what the Bible said.
So which is why if you are a Christian, if you truly believe, you follow. If you don't believe,
Play stupid game, win stupid, win stupid
just
trophies.
yes now. Yeah. So why not at the end of the day, if you are set out to play games, play the game, continue. If you want to go into marriage. Now yeah, life happens to people actually.
Sure.
People change actually. There's space for that. But I believe most times we have to be intentional about what we do. I'm very, very intentional about my decisions. I told my wife something. I said, see, if I do anything to you, I'm intentional about it. I said, if I hurt you, maybe by words or action, I said, to be sincere, I know what I was doing in that moment. It's not a joke. It's not. I wasn't because I'm someone who have learned to be careful of what I say, especially when I'm angry. That's why most times when I'm angry, I'm always quiet. So if you are intentional about everything we do, you be intentional about who you marry. That's who you spend the rest of your life with. The woman you
Honestly.
sleep with any night that you know can just pick knife and kill you in your sleep. She can even just poison your food. Nobody will
So
know.
she
So you
has
understand? So why won't you be intentional
about the person.
about choosing the person? Why will you now base choosing the person on she can twerk? You get my point. Me and my babe enter club, we
Our
can smoke
vibe.
shisha, our vibe should be trekking, everybody will be looking. So that's what you want to base it on. So what about if it is the twerking? There are millions that can twerk more than that. When you start seeing other ones that can twerk more than that, and you look for those ones too now.
Correct, correct. Thank you so much for the discussion, Eda. It's been awesome. We've learned a lot talking to you again, on and off the camera, as usual. As usual. I don't know if you
It's
have
my
something to
pleasure.
say to the audience before
Mm, yeah, like I said, I won't be speaking generally to the audience, but for those who are of the Christian faith, actually, this is a new year. I believe this is the time everyone should have their plans for the year. Look at the plans from last year that you were unable to cover up. Set it with this year. Focus on what is important. Let your Bible guide you. Listen to the word. Pray. Because in this day and age, it's no longer popular to pray. It's no longer popular to say, I'm a Christian, but it's something that is needed. It's something that we must do. A lot of people don't really believe in prayers again due to the things they consume online. Our advice, let's pray as Christians. Let's read our Bible and get our own information directly from the Bible, not what one person says.
please.
No. Let's make findings for ourselves and let's work hard.
As usual.
That's very important.
You work hard. You work hard. And
That's
I think that's
important.
that's one big factor I picked from you then. I remember you reminding me that Iggy, no matter what you are doing in student journalism, your academics must not
It
suffer.
must not suffer. That's important.
You are
That's
telling me that
important.
my academics must not suffer. And I think you are one of the people that encouraged me, that made me still have a first class. If despite doing student journalism.
That's important.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
It's good to see you, brother.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody. See you some other time.